It's a little bit like back in the 1840s when the great exodus from Ireland because of the famine and the way Irish Catholics were treated. We said, no, we don't need any more of those folks. There was a large influx. There's even a bigger influx now in terms of Hispanic voters, Hispanic citizens who want to become citizens. So it's just enormously important.
Migration has always been with us. And climate change, demographics, instability, growing inequalities, and aspirations for a better life, as well as unmet needs in labor markets, mean it is here to stay. And the answer is effective international cooperation in managing migration to ensure that its benefits are most widely distributed and that the human rights of all concerned are properly protected.
Let me begin with this reminder. While most migration is well managed and undertaken through regular channels, not all people wanting to migrate find a suitable channel to do so. Irregular migration, with all its inherent risks, is related to the lack of regular and safe pathways.
You and I are people. Migrants are people. Regardless of passports or visas, we all have the same fears and hopes. And as human beings, we are entitled to the same fundamental rights, no matter where we are or why we are there.
In today's world, all societies are becoming multicultural, multi-ethnic, and multi-religious. And this diversity must be seen as a richness, not as a threat. But to make diversity a success, we need to invest in social cohesion so that all people feel that their identities are respected and that they have a stake in the community as a whole.
Here in the Western Hemisphere, we are committed to maintaining our independence from the encroachment of expansionist foreign powers. It has been the formal policy of our country since President Monroe that we reject the interference of foreign nations in this hemisphere and in our own affairs. The United States has recently strengthened our laws to better screen foreign investments in our country for national security threats. And we welcome cooperation with countries in this region and around the world that wish to do the same. You need to do it for your own protection. The United States is also working with partners in Latin America to confront threats to sovereignty from uncontrolled migration. Tolerance for human struggling and human smuggling and trafficking is not humane. It's a horrible thing that's going on at levels that nobody has ever seen before. It's very, very cruel. Illegal immigration funds, criminal networks, ruthless gangs, and the flow of deadly drugs. Illegal immigration exploits vulnerable populations, hurts hardworking citizens, and has produced a vicious cycle of crime, violence, and poverty. Only by upholding national borders, destroying criminal gangs, can we break this cycle and establish a real foundation for prosperity. We recognize the right of every nation in this room to set its own immigration policy in accordance with its national interests, just as we ask other countries to respect our own right to do the same, which we are doing. That is one reason the United States will not participate in the new global compact on migration. Migration should not be governed by an international body unaccountable to our own citizens. Ultimately, the only long-term solution to the migration crisis is to help people build more hopeful futures in their home countries, make their countries great again.
A number of migrants crossed through the jungle between Panama and Colombia to continue their path to the U.S., eventually making their way across the southern border. Panama voting in a new president who is no stranger to the border.
That's right. Fox SA's Yami Virgen explains how this campaign policy could impact immigration closer to home.
Jose Raul Mulino was elected yesterday president of Panama on a platform that includes something that many here in the United States should be interested in: immigration. Mulino has vowed to stop the flow of migrants going through the Darien Gap on their way to the United States.
Que confiaron en nuestra propuesta porque tenían esperanzas de salir del hueco en que los últimos 10 años los han metido.
That was last night, Jose Raul Mulino's acceptance speech after winning the presidency in Panama. Mulino's platform included stopping the flow of migrants going through the country's Darien Gap, one of the worst jungles in the world that connects South America with North America.
No estoy con una cerca ni mucho menos.
In an interview on YouTube this morning, Mulino vowed to close the jungle and to repatriate all of the migrants to where they came from while respecting human rights. I have personally taken our Fox SA viewers to the Darien Gap, where more than 500,000 people crossed in 2023. Mulino, who was Minister of Defense when Panama had to battle Colombia's guerrilla group out of the Panamanian side of the jungle, says a wall cannot be built, but technology will help to keep migrants out and stop the flow to the United States. Mulino will take office July 1st. He is a substitute for the ex-president of Panama, Martinelli, who was banned from running. Yami Virgen, Fox SA.